Smile, John.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, and I'm Studio 6A tonight with Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
You're looking well in your brand new sweater from Ireland. That's nice. That's nice. It fits you well. I heard you had a special visitor today.
Oh, Amber, yeah.
What did you and Amber do?
Well, Amber slept for a while.
That girl could sleep, huh? What else did you do? I heard you did some videos together.
With her?
Yeah.
No, we didn't do any videos with her, no.
Oh? Well, let me show you something here. That's one.
Alright. We got our fit check. What are you wearing today? What are you wearing today?
Yeah, she's just joshing around.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Isn't that
It's
nice?
better.
yeah.
Yeah, I got on these pants.
She loves to video you. That's so nice. That is so nice. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion, the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, right?
Right.
Wow. I found some of your documents. Most of your documents got burned in a military office fire in St. Louis, Missouri many decades ago. But I found when you were drafted to the U.S. Army that you weighed 187 pounds.
Yeah,
Your mother from Poland fed you well.
yeah.
Yeah. And it shows that these records, that you received many awards. You received the Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Army Good Conduct Medal, American Campaign Medal, European, African, Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Service Stars. You also received the World War II Victory Medal, the Army of Occupation Medal with Germany clasp, Combat Infantry Badge, Sharpshooter Badge with carbine, pistol and machine gun bars, Marksman Badge with rifle bar, and Honorable Service Lapel Button, World War II. So that's a lot of medals. It also shows here in some of the documents I recovered. When the war was over, they gave you a mustering out pay.
Yeah.
Mustering out pay. That's pay to give these servicemen money to get back to their civilian life and enough money to get their lives in order.
Yeah.
According to Uncle Sam, the money to get Mr. Jekovich's life back in order in a civilian fashion was how much?
$300
Yeah. They gave
once a month.
Yeah, they gave Mr. Jeckovich $300 of mustering out pay at the rate of $100 per month. So this is what they thought would be enough to get their life in order. And they also gave you a bonus. What was the bonus?
$29 to get a bus fare home.
They also gave Mr. Jeckovich a bonus. $29 extra dollars to get back home. What was that, bus fare?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. We've been reading Mr. Jekovich's book. It's titled Their Mother's Son. Their Mother's Sons. And we read it once in its entirety. How many pages?
849.
Big, beautiful book. We read it once in its entirety. And now we're reading it the second time around. And at this point, Mr. Jeckovich made it to the front lines, or a stone's throw from the front line. And we're going to pick up on chapter 11, Chapter 10, page 265, Church Service in the Bulge.
No,
Do you want me to start reading from your book?
no, go ahead.
Do you want to read a little bit?
No.
Okay. 265, Mr. Jeckovich was just a stone's throw from the front line. We were told we're in the vicinity of WWII, Belgium, and that due to German breakthrough in Belgium, we were attached to the 7th Corps of the First Army. The German counter-offensive was advancing rapidly, and the salient and bypass Bastogne had thrust towards Marseille with an estimated strength of 2 armies, the 5th and 6th Panzers. The German thrust had left everyone in mass confusion. Although we were a new and untested division, there was no time for the niceties of meticulous introduction to the art of warfare. The German threat demanded immediate action.
23 minutes.
There was no time for the division to act as a unit and execute essential reconnaissance. Therefore, the 7th Corps commander ordered the various regiments of the division attached to a more seasoned and experienced elements. So being that you're green, they attached you to a more seasoned fighting regiment. Yeah. Okay. On the 24th, December 24th, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Infantry Regiment was attached to the 2nd Armored Division, while the remainder of the combat team, 291st, was ordered to move to a new assembly area in the vicinity of Saint-Malo, Belgium, as the 7th Corps Reserve. After leaving the 40s and the 8s, we marched several miles forward, area of the 2nd Armored Division. It was good to feel the cold, fresh air on my face, as it almost felt like a hot shower and rejuvenation instilled in me. After our initial relief of exiting the 40s and 8s, the reality of our situation was vividly brought home to us. I could hear the distant rumble of heavy guns, 105s and 155s, something I never heard before in such magnitude. So now you're right up close to these things, rumbling the ground. Everything else was up to now, becoming secondary or forgotten, completely erased from our minds. This was what we had feared and agonized over these past few months. This would be our test. This would be the judge of our individual mettle. Going to 266. What we did from now on would live with us the rest of our lives, providing we lived to relate to it. There was much military traffic on the ice and encrusted roads, considering it was 200 hours. We went through a little town of Beaumont, in which there was much activity. We saw several field kitchens set up, a divisional medical cleaning station with many army nurses about, and many quartermasters and engineering facilities. Boy, they set up these field kitchens everywhere, don't they?
Yeah.
Wow. And were they pretty good?
Food was good. Army food's good.
Good, okay. Most of the men attached to the tanks that were billeted in the nearby houses, and we thought that was a good omen. Why did tank guys get special treatments to be billeted in a house?
Say again?
It seemed like the tank operators got special treatment. They were billeted in a house.
The tank operators?
Yeah.
And they were spoiled.
Okay. But the frontline civilian fighters like you...
Got the leftovers.
What?
Got the leftovers.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm understanding it well. As we continued our march through the town, we were disappointed as, were all tank operators officers?
What?
Were tank operators mostly officers?
Tank operators?
Yeah. Were they mostly officers?
Driving tanks?
Yeah.
No, they're enlisted men, staff sergeants.
Did that take a lot of training to operate?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever want to operate a tank?
No.
No interest. As we continued our march through town, we were disappointed as we were once again in open country. I did not understand our mission since we had no weapons but our personal weapons, and we could not comprehend what was taking place. So you didn't have your big weapons, you just had your M1, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly we're upon a large clearing with many jeeps and vehicles parked about. We were guided toward one particular area among a clump of large oak trees. It was here that we discovered Post. Post was the man that had all your supplies, right?
Yeah.
Sound asleep in a Jeep. He sleeps in a Jeep a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We woke him up and he was surprised and happy to see us. He said that he had been here since morning, awaiting our arrival. Is that Jeep open or is it enclosed?
The Jeep?
Yeah, where Post would sleep.
No, it had a cover on it.
So he was pretty warm in there then, right?
Yeah, it leaves the heat on. Yeah.
Okay. Just then Fink came up and seriously told us to get the gun and ammo from the trailer and follow him. He also said to grab a couple boxes of K-rations since we would not eating all day. We followed him to the river bank and were told to dig in. This would be our defensive position for the time being. However, how long we would occupy it, no one knew. Just dig in the gun, set up the guard roster, and get some sleep, and I'll be back shortly, he muttered over his shoulder as he headed toward the darkened town, a short distance away. Whatever happened to Fink?
Think?
Yeah. Did he make it through the war?
Oh, yeah.
Leip and I got our entrenching tools and started to dig in the gun. It was a futile effort. The ground was frozen. Coldest winter record,
Yeah.
right? Ground solid rock.
Yeah.
Frozen. Besides, we were making too much noise, picking up our shovels in the hardened ground. I told Leip to hell with it and set up the gun, and I will check the water receiver in the gun. You needed the water in the heavy-duty machine gun to cool the barrel, right?
Antifreeze.
You put antifreeze in it also, yeah. Because otherwise it would freeze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had filled it with antifreeze and water at Haverford West, and I wanted to see if we had lost any since we left France. There was ample amount, and it was not frozen. I told Leip that I would stay up for a while. The rest of the squad should try to get some sleep. I knew it was an asinine remark. How could anyone get some sleep under these conditions? It's about 30 degrees out, snow on the ground, no blanket. No blanket rolls or anything to keep the cold out. I had worked up a sweat just walking to the spot and it was already getting chilled. Wow. We had no means to warm up. My shoes were wet and my socks and feet were walking in the snow. Our galoshes were back in the trailer and I could not help thinking, what next? These jerks running this show will probably get us killed and no one will ever be the wiser. I thought somebody had better get us out of the cold to where we could at least change our clothes. My pants were frozen stiff down from the knees down from thrashing through the deep snow. As everyone else, Fink returned and said he wanted 2 men left on the gun and the rest of the squad follow him. I elected to stay with Leip, not knowing what was to take place, but reaffirmed in the belief that we're going to be afforded a warm place to thaw out.
Yeah.
It was miserable out there, right?
Yeah.
Walking through 2-3 feet of snow, soaking wet.
Yeah.
On top of that, having all eyes looking for the enemy.
Yeah.
Wasn't nice. Wasn't nice. Sure enough, about 15 minutes later, Fink returned and told us to pull the gun out and follow him. We went in the direction of the darkened town and followed Fink into one of the houses. Oh, that's good, he got into a house. The warmth was overwhelming and the smell of hot food was stimulating and intense. The rest of the squad was here, as were the elements of the 2nd and 3rd platoons. We were guests of the rear element of the 2nd Harbor Division Headquarters Company. They provided the warmth and hot food. For that we were grateful, and we would be appreciative to their kindness and hospitality. This was a part of the war we did not anticipate, nor really think was possible. As we're under the direct command, they assumed full responsibilities of our actions. We were informed that we're in a town of Granddaughter,
yeah.
Granddaughter, and the river were an outpost on the Earth River. The Germans were advancing on a large front, but were several miles from the river, which they had to cross. We were also told by a captain that the river was too swift to cross anywhere in that vicinity, and that we were comparatively safe for a day or two.
Yeah.
So the Germans were on the other side of the river.
They couldn't cross either.
What?
They couldn't cross
They
over.
couldn't, too swift
Yeah.
and too deep.
Yeah.
So you know you had a few days.
Yeah.
Post had driven the Jeep and the trailer to the house, and we retrieved a change of clothes from our duffel bags. We also changed our socks and shoes and put on our galoshes. After eating, a hot meal of chicken soup, fried chicken and mashed potatoes, and also coffee and a sheet cake, we were told to grab our blanket rolls and head upstairs and get some sleep. That was nice, huh?
Yeah.
Was it heated upstairs?
I don't know.
No. But a lot better than being in the snow, right?
Yeah.
The upstairs was just as warm in the rooms below, with an iron stove in the middle of the room, almost cherry red. It was a large room, devoid of any furniture. The room seemed to have been empty for a long period of time. I felt good to bask in the warmth and coziness. As we stretched out, we soon fell asleep. It was past 1200 hours when we were awakened and told to pick up that morning. We're moving out. Post met us outside once again and stored our
Duffel bags.
Stored our duffel bags, blanket rolls, dried out shoes and clothing, and the crew weapon in the trailer. So Post was very important to help carry all your stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder how he made it through all that snow. Roads weren't plowed. I wonder how he made it to keep following you guys.
Probably looking for the ruts.
Yeah. As we walked in the snow, we could hear our galoshes crunch in the snow underfoot. In the distance, we could hear the rumble of the big guns. It all set somewhat menacing picture of our future, because you're going to go right into it.
Yeah.
Where the big guns are, yeah. We were released from the 2nd Airborne Division and moved to the new area by trucks and dug into the hills south of Villers St. Gertrude. The soil was sandy and therefore easier to dig in. We dug the gun in fully, slipped the belt through the breech, and slapped the cover over its position. A guard roster was made up, and we were prepared for our second night in combat. During that evening, our flank was attacked on the left by elements of the Volks Grenadier Regiment. The rifle company and slit trenches ahead of us, took a few hits, and there were several casualties in G Company. Luckily, there was no artillery involved, and we found out later there was a German combat patrol of sizable strength probing our lines. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, did they ever make it towards you?
No, they didn't. If they knew where we were, they'd kill us.
Okay.
9.5.
We did not fire the gun since we had no specific target to shoot at. The possibility of hitting our troops to the front was imminent. I did not see any Germans, nor did anyone else in the squad. G Company came in contact with a few at a distance. G Company...
Now, these are rifle companies you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had the slits for the rifle to go out of.
Yeah.
We did not fire our gun since we had no specific target. Germans, nor did anyone else in the squad. G Company came in contact with a few from a distance, but nothing in hand-to-hand, as you invariably see on the movies. So the movies wasn't a good representation.
What?
The movies were not a good representation of what actually took place.
No.
During the daylight hours, we made a little movement as possible so that we would not give our position away. The news was that the Germans were seen advancing in great strength all along the fluid line. We all felt that we were the newest division up on the line, and had taken to some of the veteran soldiers. We had been on the line for only several months, and we had arrived at an inopportune time. The past several weeks, the entire front in the Ardennes was relatively quiet and was used to regroup badly mauled units from our other resources. It was also used as an introduction to combat for the Green Division. There were other Green Divisions besides us, the 99th and the ill-fated 106th. What happened to the 106th?
They didn't have the leadership, and they didn't have the patrol, and that they got caught. They got caught right in the middle.
And what happened to them?
The Germans slaughtered them.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 99th had been in the Ardennes for over a month, but have not seen much combat. The relative quiet of the sector situated them perfectly, as their only gripe was living in a foxhole, and they were cut out from hot chow on occasion. It was only the past several weeks, which was timed perfectly with our arrival, that things started to burst into a frenzy. So now it's getting really busy out there. We did not realize it at the time that the Battle of the Bulge, as it was called, became one of the greatest pitched battles ever fought by the United States. A major struggle in the dead of winter, it was later to be deemed as the greatest in scale as the Battle of Stalingrad, with over 1 million soldiers involved. That's a lot of soldiers. Over 1 million soldiers involved. Adolf Hitler's last great offensive, his last great gamble. Of course, none of us understood the significance of this great battle or finally comprehended its meaning until much later. And then some would never realize the part it played, since they saw only a small segment in which you're personally involved. I fell under the latter category. I was not affected so much by the hardship we endured, but was much more influenced with the unnecessary and futile outcome in some of the Army's operation. Much of what we did make little sense and served no useful purpose. Being put on the outpost after riding open trucks of the 40s and 8s for several days was incomprehensible. We certainly did not contribute anything to the war effort. The captain of the tankers understood that we were grateful to him for his insight. I only wish that we find someone in our command of this caliber and vision. Fink returned from briefing and informed us they were pulling out of the Village St. Gertrude. All it seemed like we're doing much moving about a fluid line, plugging gaps, and really not seeing much action. As such, we had been shelled several times, but nothing of great intensity, and we have been on the line for several weeks and still not and fired our crew weapon. Minutes, please. Varela, how was Varela? Is he a good guy?
He's a nice kid, yeah.
From our squad,
4 minutes.
Varela from our squad was sent back to the rear for reevaluation. Why'd they send him back to the rear?
Oh, he touched the hot shit receiver, burned his hand.
Oh, I was glad for him.
Yeah.
He was out of it. He only remained to be seen how he would react in years to come, knowing that he could not take this. As for myself, I was sort of getting used to the routine, what we had of it, and I felt comfortable in my mind that I adjusted to combat conditions rather rapidly and smoothly. Granted, we were not involved in any great actions, nevertheless, it was a big adjustment. I had crossed the first gigantic hurdle. I felt more at ease that it was always lingering, empty feeling in the pit of my stomach when there was something of substance coming up. I never really conquered or fully suppressed it. We were still doing much of jumping about, moving from one sector to another, not really knowing much of what was going on, and wondering if we really are doing any good. We felt that we were being deployed to plug one hole after another. The Germans would break through in one sector, and part of the division would rush over there to assist in blocking their advance. In actuality, we never came face to face with the enemy. We only came in contact with them from a distance. Over the next hill, beyond the tree line, across the river, or beyond the next town. That's really interesting. How many minutes we got there?
2 minutes.
So, the Battle of Bulge was a really cold winter.
Yeah.
Coldest winter on record. Were you outside more than inside?
Yeah.
And that's where you got your frostbite, right?
Yeah.
What kind of weapons were you using?
Our crew weapons. We had a machine gun, and that was it.
And you had an M1 too, right?
M1 and a pistol, yeah.
You always kept your pistol on you?
Yeah.
Did you use the pistol
No,
much?
never.
Never shot it once?
No.
Did Lape use the pistol?
No.
No? Did anybody use a pistol?
I don't think so. It was just a psychological thing.
So you had a pistol, an M1, and a heavy-duty machine gun.
Yeah.
How many people did it take to operate the heavy-duty machine gun?
A squad, 30 people, 10 people. One reverse and people to keep the machine gun moving around.
Well, how come you had to keep it moving around?
Because they zero in on you right away. You fire once, the machine gun would smoke out and they could see the smoke come out. There's the heat out of the machine gun coming out.
Yeah, you had to keep moving.
Yeah.
Wow. How many rounds would you shoot off normally?
Probably 300.
And then you'd move, right?
Yeah.
Were you shooting at targets or just whereabouts they might be?
No, we were trying to keep the rifle companies secure. The rifle companies were walking through the open fields on their stomach to get out. They were the ones that take the beating, and we were supporting them.
And you were shooting over their heads?
Yeah.
Wow. Those guys must have been super cold.
Yeah, the rifle company's kind of bad, yeah.
Did you want to go in the rifle company?
No, I was lucky I got in heavy weapons.
Yeah. Was there many more casualties in the rifle company?
Oh yeah, because they were first to move up.
First to move up.
10 seconds.
And you were behind them, right?
Huh?
And you were behind them, right?
Well, we were just supporting them, yeah.
Supporting the rifle company.
Yeah.
That's it?